Hello, everybody. This is the postgame show following the Oilers' 4-0 victory of the Nashville Predators. Tonight was a pretty big game to see if the Oilers could bounce back from Tuesday night's game in Minnesota, where they fell 5-1 and basically got curb stomped by the Wild. Tonight, I guess, was the Leon Draisaitl show as he took ownership of the Nashville Predators. Having a Hattrick. Looked like Leon really couldn't do much wrong tonight on the power play, banging home a couple, and also scoring a nice goal on a brilliant feed from Zach Hyman, with Zach Kassian standing in front. Mike Smith wasn't super busy tonight, but he didn't let anything get by him. That's not entirely correct. One did get by him, but the play was deemed offside after video review. So our video coach remains on fire and remains in the Hart Trophy conversation, as Bob the goalie would say on Twitter. So some other games going on that concern the Oilers tonight. Vegas is up 5-1 on the Calgary Flames after two periods. So it looks like they're trying to kind of stay in the race here. The Canucks, after one period are up 2-0 on the Coyotes. And the Minnesota Wild beat the Dallas Stars 3-2 in overtime. Central Division game there doesn't really impact the Oilers too much, but something to keep an eye on. After tonight's game, I started to think about the playoffs a little bit, and I think at this point I would rather have a matchup against the Colorado Avalanche, I think, than the Minnesota Wild. For whatever reason, the Oilers just cannot solve the Minnesota Wild, and I think they're close to having a bit of a solution against the Colorado Avalanche. That Wild game, I mean, we were never really in that. Our defense looked lost. They looked, like they were severely outmatched, and most nights they can hold their own somewhat. Duncan Keith and Evan Bouchard really had a tough night in Minnesota. It's good to see kind of the team as a whole kind of bounce back tonight and come up with a solid effort on the road and kind of win this one, fairly easily. The first period really wasn't much of a hockey game. I mean, Edmonton pretty much dominated the first. The only downside to the first period, I think, is going into the dressing room only up one. But it never really was in question this game tonight. The Oilers just controlled the hockey game. Mike Smith didn't have to face a lot of dangerous chances, and I think he deserves some credit maybe for making it that way by handling the puck, exceptionally well tonight. Chris Russell makes his return to the lineup, and we go with 11 forwards and 7D. And immediately in the first period, he delivers one of his best checks I think he's ever, delivered in an Oilers uniform. Just a good, solid body check inside the offensive end, just inside the blue line. Shoulder to chest and laid the guy out, and a lot of impact on that check. Oilers drew the first power play of the game with 12:30 to go in the first period, and on a beautiful passing play from McDavid to Nuge with a one-touch pass to Leon, and Leon makes no mistake for his 52nd of the year. Second power play has good zone time, but they can't cash. Draisaitl with a beautiful feed from Hyman with Kassian on the doorstep made it 2-0 Oil. And Nurse got in on the action, sniping a shorty on a pretty feed from Kane, and it was 3-zip Edmonton. Nashville thought it got on the board, but the play was offside. Then Leon made it 4-zip with his Hattrick goal on the power play. And that's pretty much the story of the game. So, Vegas looks like they're on their way to knocking off the Flames today. And then we see them on Saturday, a 2 o'clock in the afternoon game back home in Edmonton. And it's another pretty big game, important one for the Oilers. And hopefully they can keep this, good play of theirs going. I wasn't too concerned about that loss to Minnesota, honestly. They just came off kind of an emotional overtime shootout loss to the Avalanche, where I think they deserved to win that hockey game. And I just think emotionally and mentally they probably weren't where they needed to be in that Minnesota game, and that's kind of why they got taken to school. That's kind of I didn't read too much into that game. You're not going to win every game in the regular season, and it wasn't a playoff game. Their season wasn't really on the line in that game, so they dropped that game. Tonight was important to bounce back, and they did that. And I think Saturday's game against Vegas, you can really put the screws to the Golden Knights and really hurt their chances of for sure getting home ice in the playoffs, and probably beyond that you can make it really hard for them to make the playoffs at all by knocking them off on Saturday. So that's kind of what I would like to see. Next game after that is April 20th against the Dallas Stars. That'll be another big game. So nice to get on a little bit of a roll here, finish the season strong, and what you gonna do when Leon Draisaitl scores a Hattrick on you? That's my little Hulk Hogan impersonation for Jack Michaels. When he was on Straight Off the Pipe, he mentioned that Randy Macho Man Savage was his favorite wrestler of all time. And I've got when I first learned to do a kind of voice impression, it was Hulk Hogan. But if you can do a Hogan, you can do a Macho Man. So I'll do the Macho Man for Jack. Lady Elizabeth. See, it's very close to Hogan. You just have to add a Lady Elizabeth from the top rope. Oh, yeah. And then you got Macho Man. Anyways, I will not, make anybody mad by just doing wrestling voices. Thanks for watching the post-game show. Keep your sticks on the ice. Keep reaching for the stars. Go Oilers, go. And tune in to the Heavy Hockey Network. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Share them videos. Spread the word. We're just a bunch of guys that like to talk Oilers hockey and have a little fun with it. So hopefully you were entertained tonight. Have a good one. Over and out. Bye.